Welcome to the Teacher's Guide to Best Tiered Instruction. This video will focus on Grade 4, Benchmark NSO 1.5, which is to plot, order, and compare decimals to the hundredths. Students should have been working with this skill with whole numbers. Now as we progress into decimals, this will also set them up for the 5th grade benchmark, which will go to the thousandths place. Begin with the plot and order part of this benchmark. Here I've provided students with a scaled number line. We discuss what the decimals are between, so we can label our endpoints, and then we can talk about what our midpoint should be. As students place their markers on the number line, they can have the discussion of, is this decimal less than or greater than this number, which really lends itself later to comparing the decimals. As students are placing their markers, you can also have them plot and label the markers once they are sure of their placements. Afterwards, we can have students start putting them in ascending or descending order, or greatest to least to greatest, but they need to hear those words. Here I've given students a different scaled number line because our decimals are now between 0 and 2 wholes. So our midpoint is actually going to be 1 whole. With that, it again leads itself for that discussion of, is this decimal greater than a whole, less than a whole, or less than 2 wholes? As students place their marker, again, after some discussion, then they can plot and label their decimals. This activity would also work on a vertical number line, as students might have an easier understanding of greater than, less than, looking at numbers vertically. As we move into comparing decimals, I've given students the vertical number line to discuss the greater than or less than. These decimals both have the same digits, they're just in different place values. So after students are able to plot the decimals, then I give them the stem cards asking, are they equal or not equal? And then we can get into, if they're not equal, then one has to be less and one has to be greater. Some students at this point in the grade level might still be struggling with the symbolic representation for these terms. So I often remind them after they've completed the sentence stem correctly, thinking about the number line and the 2 arrows on the end and which one is less, which one is greater. As we start comparing numbers, the sentence stem cards come out, having students again start comparing equal to or not equal to. In this example, I have a digit in the tens place, but the other decimal has 2 digits behind the decimal. So some students might make the confusion that the decimal that has more digits is always greater, because that was usually the case with whole numbers. So here we really want to emphasize the place value that we're comparing. So by using a place value chart, having students build the decimal or write the decimal in the correct place value, students now can focus on actually comparing the place value that is represented in the decimals. Some of them might start in the ones or the hundredths place because they're used to going to the smallest place value operationally. But when we're comparing numbers, remind them that we start in the greatest place value given. So in this one, the ones are the same, but the tenths differ. So here we're comparing the tenths. In this example, these 2 decimals start with the same digits. So again, students might just assume that because the 1 has 3 digits that it's automatically greater. In this case, that would work. However, when you're asking them to explain thinking, we want students to say 4 ones is equal to 4 ones. 3 tenths is the same as 3 tenths, so I had to compare the hundredths place, which really was 30 hundredths or 35 hundredths. For the last activity to really enforce that place value, I've given students digit cards. They're allowed to mix them up and make any digit numbers they want, but it has to make the statement true. So here students might put 3 5/10 is less than, and they get to use those same digits to create another 2-digit decimal. I've started with the tenths place to make it true, and then students can progress to that hundredths place, which is the grade level benchmark expectation. In this example, we can also connect the decimals to their fractional form so students understand why just adding that 0 actually works and what it means. So here I have 2/10 and I'm comparing it to hundredths. I want to make sure that they're kind of the same fraction amount in order to compare them correctly. So I could say that it's a quick. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found some great and new tips that you could utilize with your students. As always, if you have any suggestions, comments, or questions, feel free to add it below, and I love to hear it. Have a great day.